Welcome to theorychess. Sometimes you build a position and you reach a certain crescendo where if you don't do anything, the momentum that you've been building for the past few moves or past couple of moves end up working against you because you didn't take advantage of them. The position we're looking at is a position that's like that. Everything, when you look at white's position, is exactly where it needs to be. You could maybe try to improve some things, but there's no places where, for instance, this bishop could go. So at this point, as a player and with experience, you should know that you have to attack and you have to find a way to attack. This game was played in 2003 between Gongora and Perea. And white has a clear positional advantage, but the center is blocked. So as you can see, there's no easy way of getting to this king. His best piece, which is the knight, is about to be kicked, let's say with e6. And the king side is not so easy to penetrate or to attack. But white had the will to attack in this position, and he knew he had to search for a target. So in this position, he found this move b4. Okay, so this is a direct hit on the queen. After pawn takes, this may seem bizarre because he's ruining his own king's protection. Yet it's the only good plan because the queen side is the only area white can open up quickly. He will be much better in the endgame that follows, let's say after queen c6, queen b3, threatening moves like rook c3, queen, so you would maybe try queen a4, and after knight b6. This position is clearly better for white. But in the game, what happened is black tried to launch his own attack with queen a7, trying to use the a file. Unfortunately, it cannot work in this position because white is much better developed. White played king b2, which is a clever resource. Now let's say if you played rook to a8, queen b3 would cover all the squares that are weak on this side, and the rook would be covering all the back rank weaknesses. So after queen a7, king b2, he tried bishop c6 with the idea of eliminating this knight perhaps, which is very strong where it is. Now white used the control of the open file that he has with rook a1, and after queen b8 is in time to move his knight to harass the rook on c8 with knight b6, and after rook d8 he continued to put more pressure with b5, which unfortunately forces this bishop to go back to a passive square with queen d7, and he strengthened this position with queen d3, queen d4, sorry. The obvious threat is to bring this rook to a8, and at the same time the queen here protects the knight. So his position, you can see he's pressuring black step by step, and black is definitely feeling the squeeze. So he tries to bail out with d5, which gives up the central pawn, but maybe the queen can jump and come here. But when a person gets to resort to this, they have definitely failed. So queen goes to takes the pawn on d5, and here he realizes that he doesn't have the time to come and grab this pawn, and goes for the queen exchange with queen e5 check. White doesn't bother exchanging because to take would just help activate this rook. he blocks, and after e6, trying to force the queen to take, the queen took on b7 instead, and taking on h2 was just the last kicks of a dying horse. After rook d3, he decided it was time to call it quits, because this position is kind of hopeless after, let's say, rook takes d7. But a very good example of how at the key moment a player can decide to go for the kill. Thank you.